I like big butts and I cannot lie. All you other brothers can't deny. When a girl walks in with an itty-bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Wanna pull out your tuff, cause you notice that butt was stuffed deep in the jeans she's wearing. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. Oh baby, I wanna get with ya and take your picture. My homeboys tried to warn me, but with that butt you got makes me feel so horny. Oh, rumpled smooth skin, say you wanna get my bends. Well, use me, cause you ain't that average groupie. I've seen them dance into hell with romance, and she sweat wet like a turbo vet. I'm tired of magazines saying flat butts are the thing. Take the average black man and ask him that she's got a pack much more back. So fellas, yeah, fellas, yeah. Has your girlfriend got the butt? Hell yeah. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got back, baby got back, baby got back, baby got back, back, baby got back, baby got back, baby got back. My anaconda, no one none, unless you've got the buns on. You can do side bends or sit-ups, but please don't lose that butt. I wanna get you home and double up, Ain't talking about Playboy, cause silicone butts are made for toys. Want 'em real thick and juicy, so find that juicy double. Mix-a-lot's in trouble, begging for a piece of that bubble. So Cosmo says you're fat. Well, I ain't down with that, cause your waist is small and your curves are kicking, and I am thinking about sticking. Give me a sister, I can't resist her. Beans and rice, didn't miss her. A lot of simps won't like this song, but I'd rather stay and play, cause I am long and I am strong and I'm down to get the friction on. So ladies, yeah, ladies, yeah, roll in my Mercedes, yeah, turn it around, stick it out, even white boys got to shout. Back, baby got back, baby got back, baby got back, back, baby got back, baby got back, baby got back. Well, I do say, when it comes to the fairer sex, the periodical Cosmopolitan has little to do with my selection. 36, 24, 36? Well, perhaps if she were 5'3". Ladies, if your butt is round and you want a triple X, slow down, down 900, mix a lot, and kick them nasty thoughts. So fellas, yeah, ladies, yeah, roll in my Mercedes, yeah, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got back, baby got back, baby got back, baby got back, back, baby got back, baby got back, baby got back. In the middle, but she got much back. Little in the middle, but she got much back. Little in the middle, but she got much back. Little in the middle, but she got much back.
All right, and with that musical shitpost out of the way, we are going live here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Storm Song of the Auxiliary. With me right now is Gordon of the Auxiliary.
Hi!
And we are playing Final Fantasy Tactics today. Let me make sure my controller is even plugged in, because that happens sometimes, and it makes me an idiot. Haha, I'm not an idiot. For now.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, it's always questionable. Anyways.
That's not the point.
Let's see. We are... Oh, I'm super quiet. Okay, well, let me fix that. A quiet storm song is a nonsensical concept. You must understand, I am the loud boy. Okay, is that better? 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 Hello?
Hello?
Yay. Lichter! Lichter has joined us for the first time. He is an awesome history dude. Okay, let's see. Ah, there we go. There's the sound for the game.
Yay.
And we are continuing from where we left off. So let me find where the actual stream thing is. Ah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, capture card for this is kind of crazy at times. Whacker might join us later. Just depends on if his dealing with children has left him energy. So where did we leave off?
Yes, dealing with children is a generally energy-draining activity.
Yes, in fact, I'm going to turn up the Gordon a little bit, because you're a bit quiet to me. There we go.
I think Marcus and purposely trying not to be loud, but...
Well, that's okay. No, it's just mostly that I usually don't do headphones, but because we're streaming right now.
Yeah, that's generally a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, so that's right. We set him up. We aren't turning anyone else into anything yet because we don't have. So yeah, where we are in the story, we just rescued the Marquis Elmador from the Corpse Brigade, and we are heading back to Iagoros Castle, both to be hailed as heroes and then yelled at by our older brother for disobeying orders.
Okay.
What madness possessed you that you would abandon your post to traipse about in the desert? Silence is not the answer I seek. Speak and be quick with it. 'Twas I who forced Stormza to go. Was that the way of it, Stormza? Delita led you, or your better judgment, astray? No, I went of my own choosing. The fault lies not with him. 'Tis Stormza's noble disposition that guides his tongue, my lord. It is not as he. You needn't be false on my behalf, Delita. It was I who chose to disregard orders. Might I pose a question, Stormza? What purpose do laws serve when even those who would enforce them choose not to pay them heed? Adherence to the rule of law is a knight's solemn duty. It falls on us as Beowulfs to bear the burden of example. Is your intent to live up to your name, or to drag it with you through the mire? Forgive me, Lord Brother.
Is the Mars name Quag?
Is the what?
Giggity.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I had never thought about that. Quagmire's name might have something to do with swamp. I believe the point is made, is it not, Daisadog? You must not let the how of it steal your eyes away from the what. Their rescue of the Marquis was no small feat. It is the way of young men to be impetuous in their haste to do great things. We were not unlike them once. To coddle them is to do them disservice, your grace. They need to learn integrity. So you are Lord Daisadog's younger brother. Rise, son of Galleon. Indeed, you are the very ghost of Barbaneth. His fire burns in your eyes, I can see it. Such strength and vitality would be wasted atop castle walls. Our campaign against the Corpse Brigade draws near its end. I will permit you to join in the final stage. Coordinated strikes are to be made on a number of their dens ere long. You will lead one of those assaults. Very well, Lord Brother. My apologies, Your Grace. It was not of your doing, Daisadog. In truth, it only serves to show the caliber of men we're dealing with in Gustav. A change in plans was inevitable, once the fool went and staged the kidnapping within our very borders. And let's not forget, they did save the Marquis' life. He will now be honor-bound to acquiesce. In the end, your brother's deeds have placed us in quite the favorable position. The king's life hangs by a thread. We must move quickly now. Indeed, my dear friend, I trust you will not fail me.
With haircuts like that, with haircuts like the brother which seems to have the red outfit, I wouldn't be surprised if he turns out to be evil later.
That is always a possibility in these kind of games. This is very much...
Especially if a JRPG, you can kind of tell that sort of thing.
Well,
also by their clothes.
That and the fact that it's, what do you call it? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain has truly failed me this day. The fact that it's a very Game of Thrones / Shakespeare-esque kind of game.
Yeah, you can kind of see some of that coming.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
I'll just say it's a bad plot, but more just it feels rather predictable.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's going to be a degree of predictability in here. That said, it plays out rather interestingly, because that's not the real plot, shall we say. Okay, that's right, I have to change the characters out to whatever they're going to change to. Let's see, we're going to keep Rams at Squire for now, because I still have a few more things for him to learn in there. Actually, no, we're going to change him up to Knight for right now. And we're going to change Delita up to Knight as well.
Nice.
Okay, so now we have to update their outfitting. Right, we updated our staves, so we can sell these. So, Gordon, what RPG experience have you?
That kind of depends on where you put the definition. But, well, Skyrim's an obvious one. Let's see, let me check my overall game library to see if I can point out some examples. There's the Battletech RPG, that's another one. Dark Order 5 might technically fall under that, but honestly, I don't play a lot of RPGs. Technically, no. Battlefield Gothic doesn't really fall under that, though it could kind of be argued.
Mm-hmm. Well, Battlefleet Gothic, I mean, it has RPG elements, but it's more of a...
especially for the first game, there was a
yeah.
bit of it, but it's kind of a... You have to stretch the definition a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have a lot of RPGs on my games list.
Okay, then.
I'm more of a strategy or action game person myself. Like, take one of my more favorite titles, which I've also been streaming a good bit, War Thunder. Yeah, I did quit it for a while, but much like certain kinds of relationships, there's a reason you keep coming back.
Indeed. Let's go with that for now. The eternal game of all RPGs, which is, can I buy it? Okay. So let's see, do we have any leftover equipment that needs to be... okay. Nope. So, we will now get to where we start to suspect that not all is well in the land of Ivalis, because it isn't. Oh, random battle.
Oh, Joy! You've been ambushed! Quick! Somebody find the hedge trimmers!
Well, we have Whack Daddy here, i.e. Whacker, if he joins us.
Whack!
Oh wait, it looks like... okay, so Whacker is stuck in traffic right now, but that is all good and well. But Whacker is currently our priesty boy, who does our healy boy stuff. Break down the Knight. Halos, i.e. Misfit, the Mage of Zorg. Because the Zorg Braiserie will intensify. Oh, and Claudia, who I'm just seeing how far I can take her without, you know, explosions. Okay, so yeah, this is a tactical RPG, so think more in the vein of, like, Fire Emblem.
Heard of it, never played it, but I get the point.
Yeah. So RPG, but there's actually movement. It's basically D&D, the video game.
I hope it's not based off of 5th edition. I honestly hate that game system.
That's fair. No, this is older. This is, like, from the time where 3.0 was just coming out. And, I will build a LICTHOR character. Because building a LICTHOR character would make delight for all of us. Right, I forgot to set that up. No, wait, no, I kept him with items, so yeah, he can...
Remember, hydrate before you dihydrate.
For each drink that falls, 2 more shall take its place. Hail hydrate.
I thought we weren't allowed to make that joke.
No, we're not allowed to make that joke about alcohol.
Well, that feels like a no-brainer, but surely you can make that joke for, like, soda or, you know, ice water.
Now, the Legion has taken to not making that joke because somebody... Oh, I can get a Minotaur in this game. I will make Sanguinox.
Because someone made the joke in regards to alcohol?
Yeah. And they...
Oh yeah, general service announcement. It is St. Patrick's Day. Be responsible for whatever you end up doing, for the love of all that's holy.
Actually, I don't know if it was the Legion. It was someone close to Legion and Ox. But yeah, somebody got way super drunk on a stream, and there was problems.
Go figure.
Ha! Take that! You cannot stop the might of a trucker. So one thing that's kind of cool is that as you continue to advance your character's abilities, advance their abilities. If you, like, say, wait, it doesn't just give up the turn, you go earlier in the next turn order. So, like, there is advantage to waiting, even if sometimes it seems like you're giving up, you know, action economy.
Yeah, action economy can be funky.
Yes.
On the subject of, like, RPG systems, my personal favorite is Traveler. And I don't make no secret to that fact.
Yes. I hear good things of it.
Oh yes, especially it depends on the edition, because if you're looking for more crunch, you're going to want to look towards some of the older versions, before Mongoose really got a hold of the property, such as, like, GURPS Traveler and such, where you can really get into the crunch when it comes to ship optimization. But if you're looking for something that's relatively easy to pick up and play, I'd recommend Mongoose 2nd or some of the optional rules, especially if your players don't enjoy the randomness that typical Traveler character gen offers. Because that can be a sore spot for some people.
Yep.
I personally really enjoy the random-ish character gen that it offers, because it can really aid in creating a character due to the fact of...
Yep.
Yeah, as Sunshine says. Like, yeah, they enjoy it as well. Like, my overall point with that is... Take, for example, like, you're trying to make a character that, works as an engineer. But they end up being a screw-up, they get drafted into the military, but still has a pretty successful career.
Praise Zorg!
That is a... Yeah, exactly, Sunshine. But again, as well, if you take some of the optional rules for alternate forms of character gen, if people really don't want to touch the random character gen, there are options. But yeah, occasionally the random character genres I really like because it can write a story itself.
Yeah.
Because I once had a character that was dumb as a rock, but went out a character gen with like some of the best broker and intelligence skills out there.
We just sacrificed that goblin to Zorg.
Praise Zorg!
Yeah. Zorg will have fire, yours or another's.
Wait, are goblins in this setting made of mushrooms?
No, they are not.
Damn it. I was gonna make a souffle with their corpse.
I mean, that's fair. In the meantime, Misfit's gonna throw a rock at Whacker in order to keep his experience up.
I cast Fist!
Yep. Yes, in this game, total professional gamer move. If your party member can't attack someone, and your other party members are healthy, and the enemy are no longer a real threat, just start attacking each other to make sure you get the experience points.
Just yeet. Is that guy's name seriously Whack Daddy?
Yep, it's Whacker. The Whack Daddy. Claudia. Okay. Well, that was very minor random combat. Temptations. Okay, you know what?
Temptations.
Yeah, I'm gonna risk it and go back to Igros to equip, because getting that amount of money actually does help with making sure everyone has what I want them to have.
I do really like it overall that Traveler, depending on what sort of modules like you're using and other stuff, you can create a large variety of settings, from like a sort of high-ish sci-fi fantasy epic to something on the ground level of like The Expanse or like Elite Dangerous, depending on what exactly you do.
Yeah.
And honestly, at all levels, it can be quite a lot of fun. If you sort of just let your players loose, and the group has pretty good chemistry, you'll tend to have a really interesting campaign out of it, especially if they decide to start smuggling and they're actually somewhat smart about it.
Ugh. Alright, so... yeah, I haven't actually played a Traveler game. I've read the system up, but I don't have experience with it yet, so...
Yeah, there aren't too many people running it these days. Or at least that, on Roll20, for example, that I'm on good terms with, let's say?
Indeed. Speaking of good terms, we're about to find out that one of our party guests is an asshole.
Which one?
There's a guy in our party named Argath, who we rescued a few missions ago. He kind of has come across a little bit at this point as, maybe not unhinged, but short-tempered. But we're about to start see him saying some pretty foul stuff here.
Foul? What kind of foul? Is he spewing birds out of his mouth?
Yes. Our contact with the brigade is lost, and I fear we may be lost as well. How could you say such a thing? The battle is not yet even fought. We mustn't give in to despair. Not until the nobles answer for all they've wrought. It ought not have been like this. My brother was too soft, too indecisive. The enemy! I owe you a debt of gratitude for rescuing the Marquis. I pray I am able to repay it even a little by aiding you in this. Meluda. Hey, it's Wrathblade KT. Howdy. The wise choice of shooting their healer. She's preparing to cast a spell. Yeah, so that fight with the goblins obviously was not a hyper-active fight. But with humans, you're going to see a lot more interesting tactics and abilities in play. So, Wrathblade, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wrathblade, speak, good sir!
Hello. He's gonna wait, because I know that magic's gonna go off here in a second, so...
What is the worst thing you've ever seen somebody put on a sandwich?
Pickle juice? Without a pickle? Oh, Hargath's been knocked out. And Spara has sent me more cursed imagery. Interesting.
As a bit of a question, I'm guessing, have you set the stream title for what I was streaming recently to just run the upload to just be boat?
Not yet. I haven't uploaded that yet. I did, however,
boat.
I did, however, contemplate it.
For 3 hours of just boat. Even after I asked him to stop, just kept going.
Look, I hated it too, but understand that my hatred for it, did not outweigh my love for your suffering. It's much like Minions. The fact that other people hate them makes me accept their existence as a means to make other people suffer.
The next time that happens, I might just stop the stream right in the middle of that, depending on how I'm feeling, because it's like... I do have the ability to, as an independent actor, to just leave.
Indeed.
But, yeah, it could have been worse. I guess.
Yeah, we could have been stuck in the audience. Oh.
I do find it quite interesting how, without too much provocation, people just start... Oh, I'm trying to remember, what was the actor who was like, there were 2 people who could deal with the Muppets very well. I think it was Michael Caine and Jim Carrey. Michael Caine because he treated the Muppets as fellow professionals, and Jim Carrey...
No, Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry treated the Muppets treated himself as a Muppet, while I think it was Michael Caine treated the Muppets as other professionals.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, like, they were able to get into their roles, as it were.
Yeah, I just... Like, hearing, like, that said about Tim Curry, I'm just like, that makes perfect sense. Considering it, as the legend goes for Command and Conquer Red Alert, you know that one scene where they're going, I'm gonna escape to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism?
Space!
That was their best take, and you could tell he was on the verge of laughing.
Oh, yeah.
And that was their best take. I just find that really amusing. That was the best take they had, and he was on the verge of cracking up.
Yep.
Well, to be honest, that entire game was a shitpost.
Well, it's a Command and Conquer game.
Fair.
Like, they shitpost to hell and back in those games.
And yeah, Tim Curry was a hell of an actor. Shame I never got to meet the guy. I would have loved to get an autograph or something.
Yes.
Trying to remember. Who was the... trying to remember. Who was the guy that played the Mask?
Jim Carrey.
Yeah. I'd love to meet Jim Carrey as well. Especially considering he's a Canadian actor.
Yep. We are not chattel, we are humans, no less than you. What flaw do you hold there to be in us? That we were born between a different set of walls? Do you know what it means to hunger, to sup for months on naught but broth of bean? Why must we be made to starve that you might grow fat? You call us thieves, but it is you who steal from us the right to live. You no less human than we? There is a beastly thought. You've been less than we from the moment your base-born father fell upon your mother and whatever gutter saw you sired. You've been chattel since you came into the world, drenched in common blood. By whose decree? Who decides such foul and absurd things? 'Tis heaven's will. Now, in the original version of this, before they got a better translation, he has a really cool line there, which is, well, beasts have no god. Heaven's will? You would pin your bigotry on the gods? No god would fain forgive such sin, much less embrace it. All men are equal in the eyes of the gods. Men, yes, but the gods have no eyes for chattel. There, that's the line. Where that would be. You speak of devils, not gods.
Well, I mean, at a certain point, if we want to get into the theology debate, there's not much of a difference.
Well, yeah, but let's leave that one on elsewhere.
Yeah.
In this particular case, Rathbane Blade speaks. Tim Curry is a hell of a guy. The movie Clue is one of the first things when his name is mentioned. Yeah, that was a good movie. Yeah, in this context, though, we find out that demons and gods being similar may be more on point than we realize.
I was just gonna say, personally, considering I have one of my dad's brothers is a Catholic priest, I can kind of discuss such matters with some degree of authority? Question mark?
I would say that's a subject worth avoiding, however. Just because we are streaming to people who are trying to escape from daily life. Yeah, this is going to be a particularly brutal fight. Even Breakdown's already been knocked unconscious. Let's avoid the religious talk for this particular moment. Well, okay, you know what, Lichter, I'm curious.
He's asking me if he can jump in and do it by voice.
Oh, yeah. Let me give you an invite into the thing, because you are the Lichter. But where did I put the Lichter in my world? Oh, here we are. Why am I having trouble finding this? Give me a second, Lichter. I just need to invite you into the Discord we're using for this, and should be good. Okay, so where did I put this? I suck at finding things. Okay. Okay, so, sorry about that. Lictor, you should be able to join. Ah, there we are. Everyone, I give you Lictor of the Auxiliary and of great historical knowledge. Though it looks like he's muted and deafened. Well, we will wait for him to respond momentarily.
Hello.
Ah, there's a Lictor.
He's awfully quiet.
Yeah. I try not to wait the entire family. So weighing in just a tiny little bit about the entire debate of gods, devils, having a devil in and by itself is an invitation of duality in religion. The very idea that there is a power that can be equal and opposed to a benevolent god. And that is something that arises from ancient Babylonia, called monotheism, and that is the idea that there is a benevolent god, but there's also an equal and opposite evil god.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that there is one god is one of the major problems of monotheistic religions, because clearly the world is not such a fun place to be in, and the question of if God is all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-benevolent brings up the question of why is there evil in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings up a whole bunch of answers from a bunch of people. But if you go as far back as you can in the monotheistic religions, where you have essentially bad people in the religious aspect, then you've got someone like Satan, which job is to be the advocate for saying people are bad. And that's their job. It's like their job is to tell people you're bad and that's why you're being punished.
Yeah, the prosecution.
Yeah, the prosecution. What you see in a more polytheistic structures of belief, like in this game, for instance, there's no real problem because no god is really all-powerful. They are just bigger pieces of the cosmic chess going on, and they have to deal with the fact that there are other beings that are either equally or more powerful than they are, and these beings are, well, interested in the pain and suffering of human beings and mortals.
Mm-hmm.
That is the basic underlying philosophy, and the fact that there is, and then it becomes a matter of, who's who and what's what. No longer do you have a clear-cut benevolent or evil gods, and so the difference between gods and devils are merely a matter of who you are. If you read a lot of the Indian, as in India, the Vedic stories, you'd notice that most of what they call demons are just other people who are, and when these guys are righteous and operate in a way that they would recognize righteous, they are as powerful, if not more powerful, than the regular gods. So you have a bunch of righteous devils and gods that behave badly,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa. merely, and that is a way to pass a moral judgment and saying, in the grand scheme of things, acting morally will make you successful and good in society, and not and nothing else actually matters. You have to be moral. You have to be to operate in a manner that is beneficial to your fellow human beings. And if you do that, be you a god, mortal, demon, outsider, insider, what have you, you will be rewarded.
Yeah, and that seems to be kind of the karmic notion. Which, given that this game is written by a Japanese studio, that's probably more akin to the cultural context that they think in,
Yeah.
since Shintoism is fairly close to that.
Well, Japan is a place where Buddhism, which is fairly an often portrayed antagonist in Vedic traditions in India. Vedic, they don't like Buddhism at all, and they consider them one of their rivals. And you often find Buddhist monks operating as the leading agents of devils. But they tend to operate in a manner that's misleading. They're like, we are here to be all nice and good and everything, but in their traditions they besmirch the old and true traditions of Indian folklore. Now, I'd hasten to say I'm not a huge expert. I read a few books and I talked with a few people, but it's generally it's a common enough theme in translated literature that the Buddhists are the guys who mislead you from your upright culture in, of course, the manner that the Vedic people consider it, with the caste system and everything.
Yeah. Just a brief aside. So I was not going to win that battle, so we are going to do a little bit of grinding before we try to continue. I should have saved.
Ah, yes. The save scum.
The time-honored tradition.
It is why saves exist, actually.
Yes.
It's a good thing that you do. Implementing saves, however, takes time and effort if you do it programmatically.
Yes.
I hasten to say to anyone who might be watching, who might be ever developing a game on their own, design your saving system before you start coding.
Interesting.
Please do so. It will save you roughly 20% of the project in development time.
Yep. Yeah, mostly
Also,
we're...
wasn't it that in older games they did a password system for saves because that was easier to program?
I mean, that's like what the Mega Man games were like. I recall those. Mega Man X. I'm pretty sure other games did it too.
Quite possibly.
But yes.
So yeah, that's my piece.
It does remind... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Continue.
It does remind me just of the, like, in the Hebrew that I've been learning that El is a word for god, demon, spirit, angel, any and or all such things. And that when you're referring to, like, God, you're talking about, Elohim Adonai or something like that. But then, yeah, like, that, any spirit is El, or is called El.
Yeah, well, El is a ancient Mesopotamian word for deity. And it used to be a single deity known as El. There was a place, even in the Hebrew Bible, there's a place called Beit El,
Yeah.
the house of God. Just verbatim, that is what it means. Beit means house of, or the residence of, and El, God.
Mhm.
And it was a specific God, because you had many gods. You had Baal, you had many Baal gods. Baal, by the way, means, and this
Lord,
is
like Lord of or Prince of, right?
No, just means owner of.
Okay.
Just owner, the person who owns that thing. As interestingly enough, in Hebrew, to be the husband is also Baal.
That's right.
Because in Hebrew, marriage is when you buy your wife. It's a contract you sign. I signed that contract with my wife when I married her in Jewish marriage.
Yeah.
There's a contract, and you have to pay something. It's usually very symbolic these days, but you have to pay something, and you have to write a binding contract with the parents of the bride in order to get the rights. I actually paid 2 sheep.
Wait, literally 2 sheep.
Yep, that's what they asked.
Was that
They
a joke?
No,
No, you have to remember, they still do that over there. Like, it seems...
my wife's parents are post-Soviet people,
Oh,
they have-
that
and
makes
they-
a lot of sense then.
and they have a very. They were like, we don't buy into this entire Jewish thing too much, so let's have a good dinner.
Well, the thing is, as well with sheep, like practically as well as a gift or similar livestock, is they can actually be quite valuable, and for if the family
No,
doesn't
no,
fall
no,
into
no.
hard times.
No. Thoroughly modern people don't make mistake.
That wasn't what I was trying to imply. I was more just as somebody with farmers in the family
Oh,
that livestock can be definitely a very valuable gift depending on the circumstances, because if you were to fall in hard times, for example, end of the day, it's meat.
yep.
At minimum. Especially for sheep, that's also clothing, that could also be milk, cheese. Just, there are layers to that.
No, well, we didn't think about it. We thought about tasty, and the parents came from the specific area of the Soviet
Caucasus?
no, not Caucasus. One of the stans. And they had a very good. They still do have a very tasty recipe for the rice and mutton stuff that they make. Good spices. Requires an entire bottle of vodka to make. Half of it has to go into the cook. It's traditional that the father cooks that dish.
Oh. Why is that, if you don't mind me asking? If you
It's just tradition. There are certain dishes in the house that the husband cooks, like the beet soup.
Yep.
Like the beet soup?
Yeah, the beet soup.
Okay, just checking I heard you correctly, since you have a bit of an accent.
A trap
Yeah.
just won a battle for me.
That's great.
I didn't know you had House Follow on your team.
Not that kind of trap.
All I'm going to say about this is you should promote the trap and make it commander.
Ramza probably would at this point. He has been living a very disheartening life. We're gonna save so I don't run into that whole die without saving idiocy.
Yes. You seem to learn very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. Food is good, though. If you know what peoples are about, food is good. Here's another local joke. Apparently, most Soviet people who spoke Russian count the drink in grams instead of pieces of instead of what is usually a liquid measurement. So if you'd ask them how much is 10 times 100 grams, which is supposedly a kilo for those of us who use a metric, they'd answer you a liter, which is a liquid measurement, because they used to measure the shot glass in 100 grams.
Mm.
And it led to fairly hilarious mistakes when trying to translate.
I imagine.
Yep.
Mistakes often are hilarious.
Yeah, so long no one dies.
Yes. Okay, wait, mixing up my character name. Storm Song is going to take a brief bio break. I will be right back.
Remember, hail hydrate.
Hail hydrate.
See y'all in a few.
We are dooting. Doot doot. Doot 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 doot. So, how you doing?
Alright, the Storm Song has returned.
Have you acquired a
Storm
beverage?
sings again.
Yes. Yes, I have water here. I pet the doggy. He's still too afraid of cameras for me to give you guys
Doge!
pictures yet, but I will have pictures of him soon. Yes.
Very good.
I want to see Doge.
As soon as he's no longer afraid of cameras, you will. So yeah, like I said, we're doing a bit of grinding here because we were weighed, we were measured, and we were found wanting.
You're not fat enough.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Possibly.
I see. Well,
The siege wield. We're fighting in a swamp.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Fighting the undead. And a bomb.
Bomb?
what?
Where?
So,
We've had a bomb already.
yep. So, oh yeah. In Final Fantasy, there's a fire elemental monster called a bomb, and if they feel like they're about to die, then they'll just try to take everyone with them and explode.
I'm taking you with me. Boom!
Yep. So we have 2 skeletons, a bomb, and 2 hobgoblins.
Skeleton warriors. Ba 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 ba.
Bang! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
They are about to learn the wrath of Bout.
Boat!
The wrath of boat.
So.
So, the Lictor, as I've not seen you much of late, you know, with busyness and all that, how has the life of the Lictor been?
My life is going pretty good. I dare say. I've been running various games and trying to reinitiate some of my world-building attempts. Drawing maps, creating content, running various games. I ended my Eclipse phase. You guys were talking about Traveler, and I wanted to weigh in that there's a system out there that does transhumanism explicitly in a manner that's quite interesting, at least.
It appears Whacker has decided to join us.
Ah, Whacker.
Whacker.
Everyone,
Whack attack.
here is Whack Daddy.
Okay.
As soon as his microphone works.
I do not believe in microphones.
I have returned.
Aha.
Why?
Bring tacos as promised. Did you bring the tacos?
Can you tackle your bell?
Yeah.
I believe he does not. There is failure in the air.
Hmm. But with that all said, so you were saying transhumanism?
Yeah, in a manner that's very, very rare. They actually sat down and thought about a way to represent the fact that you are not your body and you're barely who you are. You're whatever you are at the moment in the game in a fairly powerful way. And then they went into the weeds and overcomplicated everything. But the basic idea that you can play in a game where your mind is essentially, it's a computer program. You can copy it, you can move it, you can have bodies. The way to travel the stars is not by being able to actually physically walk from point A to point B, is by neutrino transmissions from point A to point B.
Yeah. Okay, right, because you can just put your consciousness in the spaceship.
No.
I'm not nearly drunk or stoned enough for this conversation right now.
I am, don't worry.
You can't
I have
be
you
drunk
covered.
for him. You can't be drunk for him.
You
That's
say
not how
that,
it
but in
works.
a legal sense.
Aha!
So
See?
on a more realistic note, would anyone like to know Uncle Whacker's painful regret lesson of the day?
Yes.
Do not buy generic grocery store branded soy sauce.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that is one of the that's one of the things you don't cheap out on, much like toilet paper. Seriously, never cheap out on fucking toilet paper.
Yep. Otherwise, you start to get them splinters in your ass.
Storm, how far away are we from being able to capture critters?
We're working on it as we speak. It will probably be another session or two of grinding.
There ain't nothing wrong with
Yeah.
a little bump and grind.
Yeah, because Lictor is also interested in having a Minotaur in this game named Sanguinox.
Yes.
Da 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 da.
Sanguinox, the team dad.
Yep.
That's a reference to an Ox game that ran a while back.
Yes. techie running Super Florence.
So, thought experiment time, Storm.
Yes.
What do you imagine is the loudest and the quietest characters or units in this game?
Well, the Bard and the Black Mage to begin with, and the Summoner, because the Black Mage and the Summoner could summon lightning and or lightning elemental beings, and that's going to make noise. And then the Bard, well, the Bard,
Right.
they're going to heal and sing about it.
So I think you need to have a black mage and name it Gordon because it's going to be really loud and it's just going to do lots of catastrophic destruction wherever it goes.
Well, I know what
don't
I'm
think you can
renaming
see me
Friedrich
right
now.
But I'm starting to raise up in my middle digits.
Remember, the undead don't like healing. But
But I'll bash them over the head with a stick!
Yep.
Well, all I'm going to say is, hello Pathfinder, and welcome to negative energy and positive energy damage.
Indeed. Though this game is closer to the D&D 2.0 transitioning to 3.0 time period, but all the same.
You know, some ideas are older than others, and some ideas are, translated different than others. So, it tracks.
All right. Now that you mention it, Storm, I just realized I've actually never done that comparison. Excuse me.
In what?
Which the most obvious one, which is, comparing, your average Final Fantasy RPG system to your standard Dungeons and Dragons D&D system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've never done that.
Really? Why would you like to do that?
It's just an interesting thought exercise now that Storm mentioned it.
Yeah, the systems are, of course, built to a different end. Like, Final Fantasy games rarely account for things like skill sets, because everything is combat-oriented. Or at least the mechanic of the game is. But, that said, once you account for the mechanics, like, there are some interesting ways in which they're different. Like, for example, a knight in D&D is focused on heavier defensive capabilities, and while knights in Final Fantasy can wear heavy armor and the like, they're actually focused on abilities that break other people's armor and shield and weaponry.
We have to remember that in D&D, you have far less classes, and the granularity of mechanics is also much lesser. In Tactics and Final Fantasy in general, you have much higher granularity of statistics. Imagine D&D, you don't even have MP, much less having specific maneuvers for fighters. While mages might be somewhat comparable, the idea that you have so many different types of mages and clerics and different classes, especially in tactics, where you can have, like you said, a class that's based around breaking the armor. That would never fly in D&D.
Yeah.
Obviously, because of how armor mechanics in that work in general.
Yeah. And then, like, D&D doesn't divide... Like, D&D does have magical schools, but it doesn't divide up the kinds of mages by those schools. So, like, while you do have cleric and wizard, wizard can do a lot of stuff that is normally, only the white mage in Final Fantasy would do. But also that the oracle would do, etc. Like, whereas Final Fantasy tends to divide up magic classes based on their effect.
Well, it's quote good versus bad, right?
Well, more like help versus harm, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
I kind of like the good versus bad analogy a little better because remember, wasn't it white was like the second or third best harm spell in Final Fantasy IV?
I can't remember, but that might be the case.
Holy is a highly damaging game in nearly every game.
Yeah.
Highly damaging spell in nearly every game.
Yeah, I do believe that is
Oh,
correct.
Storm. The loud Billy Big Rig and Trucker is
Yes, get your
available.
sexy ass in here, Breakdown.
Come on down, Billy boy.
Yeah, but yeah, the other main difference then is like because Final Fantasy games, this isn't true of all of them, but most of them don't account for like social interactions, as those are all scripted events. You're not going to see like the social skills fleshed out.
You mean the lack thereof?
Yeah, you're not going to see like intimidate or bluff or whatever as skills, unless
Whereas
they
you
somehow
can-
directly fit into the battle scheme.
And then you look at Traveler, and there's, like, you want to try to socially convince someone to do something. There's at least 5 different ways, and technically 10, assuming your GM is willing to go with your logic. Because the Traveler system is, okay, I want to lie to this person's face to get them to think this product is worth a lot more. Well, how exactly do you want to go about doing that? And depending on how you argue it, there's several different skills you could use.
Yeah.
I was
I roll for autism.
I was thinking about all the implementations of the the fighting systems, as far
Mhm.
back as I can remember, which basically goes through 12.
Yeah.
And as a thought that tailed right on the back of that, which for legal purposes, everything I'm about to say is a joke. You want to see how you can get a lot of death threats real fast on a stream?
Oh dear.
Final Fantasy
For
9 is
legal
by
reasons, I want to say no. For the joke, I want to say yes.
my least favorite by far Final Fantasy that I could not stand whatsoever was Final Fantasy 9.
Huh.
I couldn't.
I'm not going to argue on that one because I think is 9 the one with Leo.
No,
the gunblade.
that's 8. No, 9 is
Okay.
Zidane and Garnet.
Okay, because I'm familiar. The one that messed me up was Final Fantasy Crystal.
Okay.
That one Crystal variant that had like the Final Fantasy name attached to it.
Crystal Chronicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
I never played that, but Final Fantasy
Same.
8 was one of those ones that I didn't like it for years and years and years and years. Like it actually held the place as my least favorite until I came back to it about 10 years or so ago, and I actually tried I was kind of big on low-level games for a while, like just trying to do low-level games, and I followed the low-level game guide for 8,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a blast with it. I thought it was so fun to do.
Okay, so once we get to where we can capture animals, a Minotaur like that is what we're going to try to persuade to join us, and he will become the Sanguinox. Not that one. That one's going to die because I don't have that ability yet.
Okay.
I
So-
like that. Sanguinox would appreciate that train of thought, by the way.
Yes.
He would
What
be like,
creature fit the trucking life other than a chocobo?
Well, the Chocobo is going to be Rail.
the
They
shoe
have
puff.
they have chocobos in so many different colors, so it's not
I
even funny.
thought we decided that the Beast Tamer was the most redneck.
No, we went with the what do you call it? The Geomancer.
Y'all were saying geologist. Yeah, the geologist.
Geomancer.
I was
Yeah.
saying
I'm sorry.
March.
I'm sorry. You're right. Geologist. You're gonna be a rock dude right now.
You asked what would be the chocolate life, and I'm saying the shoe puff from Final Fantasy X, I think.
Oh yeah, the dude that just travels around and is like, hey, guess what? Have some items.
Shoe puff.
You talking about the insect guy that drives the shoe puff or what?
He's the
That quite
No.
literally is just a dude who ferries people from point A to point B.
Do not attack the shoe puff.
He's the Shoe Puff Marshmallow Man.
Fuck you, I'll do what I want.
Well,
Yeah,
you
then you get this sad shoe puff noises when Titus's dad attacked it that one day.
Oh yeah, the one that still limps to this day.
Yep. It's like, what
Yeah.
happened here? Sin, or whatever his name was,
Jacked.
attacked the shoe puff. Jet
Yeah.
attacked the shoe puff.
And then it was the
And
last,
Titus just got really annoyed and really sad.
Jack.
which
Jack, that was his
yeah,
name.
which is when Orin finally convinced him to stop drinking for good.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh
Jack,
yeah,
yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
specifically
Jack.
because of this incident.
Jack wins like multiple Father of the Year awards for multiple reasons.
Yep.
No, the fuck he doesn't. That's Aaron.
Who?
Or Orion, or whatever the
Orin.
hell his name is.
Orin.
Orin.
I was
I
being.
like-
Orin is a better
Oh,
dad, and I will not argue
Oh
with
yeah,
Orin
yeah, no,
since
no, no.
know
I think
that
we're
guy
being
right
sarcastic when we
we're
say
being
Jack wins Father of
sarcastic
the Year.
right now.
now. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, never mind then.
too literal.
Yeah,
but
he was like the worst fucking father I can remember out of all the Final Fantasy games.
yeah,
Father figure, I should say.
Yeah, I literally say.
It messed me up when I learned that, spoilers, Jet was Sin.
oh yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
Well, when you stop and think about it,
Oh yeah, it made sense.
you need to be a world-class asshole.
hmm
I kind of like the plot twists, and I really like Final Fantasy X. I really liked how they did the story and everything.
It was
Same.
It was nice.
Mhm.
I liked it.
we were actually
And-
discussing
And
this
was
earlier.
fun in every sense of the word.
Yeah,
And here's another hot take. I actually liked Final Fantasy X too. I thought it was a fairly decent game. It wasn't great.
I loved the battle class chain system. It was straight up Sailor Moon. Like, literally ripped 1-to-1.
Not necessarily a bad thing.
Everybody was like, "Oh, this is just it's fan service. It cheapens women, blah blah blah, whatnot."
It
No,
was
dude.
also designed to get women into the game in the first place.
Well, I don't think it did cheapen women at all. I mean, all three of the protagonists were pretty awesome, badass female lead characters.
hmm
From the onset, it was quite literally female empowerment in personified,
I
with the
agree.
occasional fan service here and there. But
Oh, but-
quite literally, the entire game was just nothing like to hype them up. Like the girls on the team were OP as shit, and they actually were.
yeah.
Oh, there was plenty of fan service abounding, but it was also, if you got past all that,
Oh yeah,
it was a good story about several strong, capable female protagonists, and I liked it.
Well, especially
you
in the light of facing down, everything they grew up knowing to be true was a lie.
Yep.
It's
Oh yeah, God,
it's like
yeah.
the aftermath of having been a Yevonite in that world.
And on top of that, if you actually try to do 100%, like I did at one point, because I actually had the manual for it, the paperback, you learned so much additional story and just the little things that makes the final mechanical boss that was supposed to defeat Sin even scarier.
hmm Oh yeah,
What I
Vegnagun.
loved about 10.1, if you lose the Sin, it's a permanent save to your hard drive or your physical memory card for that one specific save file that you lost to. Anytime you try to reload it to a previous file, you just come up to a dead world.
I don't remember that.
It happened to me personally. I lost the first fight against Sin with the primary party, and I got wiped off. When I tried to reload it, it just reloaded the same end scene where, like, yo, you died. So if it was a glitch or not, it happened to me more than once.
That I have heard of stuff like that happening. Not that specific one, but like of people accidentally like getting glitch saved into a like a
Permanent bad end.
yeah.
That sounds like a bug, dude. I've never heard anything like that
Mhm.
about,
So
because that's pretty hardcore if you think about it. Also, breakdown. Would you like to know my giant fucking mistake for today / this week?
oh yeah, if you want to do one of those, I had a bit of a hellish day myself.
Okay. Hit us
I
again because
bought-
I can't remember.
Go ahead.
I bought grocery store generic brand soy sauce, and I am deeply regretting that right now.
Oof. Oh god, you're streaming from the toilet.
No, I'm eating my delicious grocery store sushi that, we've had the same sushi chef at our grocery store for like, what, 4 or 5 years now? I know them both by name. They know me by sight. They come over half of the store and we shoot the shit.
Yep.
And they make awesome sushi, and I'm sitting here eating it with this deep sense of regret to this burnt, savory salt water. It's horrible.
Oof.
It's regret is what it is. Anyway, breakdown. Would you like to tell your story?
Earlier this morning, around 8 o'clock or so, they were like, "Hey, we got a truck we'd like you to go recover, since yours is going into the body shop because of my major backing accident that's been already covered at the shop. So I still have a job there." I was like, "Cool, 10-4. Where are we going?" "Main International Dealership." "Cool. Slight problem. What's up?" "I can't get back. We're waiting on to see if we can get you a rental." 3 hours later, I'm now looking for rental as well. Found out there's nothing in the entire city because of a major women's basketball league. So the
Where are
entire
you?
city of Birmingham, Alabama currently. So
Oh, that's
all of the
way too
rentals
far away.
aren't
I'm not-
leaving the city. They're not leaving the state.
Yeah, I'm not driving down there to get your ass.
So
Okay, so Whack Daddy, you are moving on to your next job, which means we're one step closer to getting all the animals.
Am I going to be the one persuading all the critters?
Yep.
Oh,
Back, Daddy, you better make that Minotaur proud.
I'm going to pet and love and snuggle all of them.
Yes.
no, he's just gonna hit him with a really big stick.
Well, after I beat the ever-loving piss out of them and they're in a bloody pulp on the ground, then I'm going to snuggle them.
Yay!
All I'm going to say to this is Sanguinox approve of this method of acquiring love.
Also, Storm, I literally cannot get that damn thing out of my head. I don't know why. I'm sitting here giggling and smiling every time I think about it.
What thing?
Every horsey.
Oh, like I just noticed that people, they cringe when I say every pony, and I'm not gonna stop, but I have to shake it up once in a while. So like
Oh,
every llama and every horsey and soon every
Every magma
seahorse.
oh, that
Every-
was it was
Every
horrible.
magma giraffe.
It was cringe-tastic and it was horrible, and I want you to continue doing it, please.
Indeed.
Storm,
Yes.
Storm. Do you know that Mr. Hat and Mr. Hat programmed a mod for Dwarf Photos
Oh no.
in which he added the magma giraffe,
Oh yes.
and I made the art for it, both in-game and out of game. So now we have the magma giraffe. Now, at some
I want
point,
to grab
Diggs,
2 or 3 more things, but I got no room in my hands.
Okay.
Hang
so,
on. Paladin, it's Kikomen soy sauce is the best one.
Yeah.
Sorry, LICTHOR, go ahead.
and Diggs came up and said, "Wait a minute. A magma giraffe is basically a giraffe. A magma giraffe is a mammal. If it's a mammal, you should be able to tame it and milk it." And Mr. Hat went through the trouble of making the code that you could tame, milk, and make magma giraffe milk cheese in Dwarf Fortress.
Oh god.
That was a series of words in my ear that I understood all of it, but what?
Well,
Okay.
just make sure when you get the giraffe milk, it's from the female giraffe, not the male giraffe.
For reference, ma'am, magma, lava, giraffe, milk was what I just heard in my head.
Okay, Mr. Hat from the Legion, okay, loves making mods, weird mods for games because that's the thing we do, right? Right. So you might recall Tex talking about the whale gun mod in Xenonauts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the wheelgun mod that destroys everything it shoots.
Yeah, that's the one that Mr. Hat again, same guy. So he made a mod for Dwarf Fortress. You with us, Breakdown?
Yes. I'm just
Okay.
at Family Dollar real quick, grabbing some snacks for a road trip tomorrow.
Cool. So there's the so he makes the magma giraffe and he calls me up and asks me to make the art. So I make the sprite map, so you can have a magma giraffe in your dwarf fortress. And then Diggs comes up and says, "Wait, that's basically a mammal. It's a giraffe, right? You should be able to tame it and milk it." And first we're saying, no, 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 no. That's a terrible idea. Why would you do that? And he's like,
That's as
nope.
terrible as gorilla milk.
And eventually,
You mean-
Hat caves in. And now, if you download the mode from Steam to your game, your Dwarf Fortress game, you can have a delicious magma giraffe milk cheese.
My God.
Meanwhile,
It sounds like it's probably
I'm just
really
trying to
spicy.
get back to have a nice bowl of cereal, like a normie, for once. And I hear this in my head, and it turns my stomach. I am horrified, but curious.
Breakdown, just bite the damn bullet, buy an entire box of ho-hos or ding-dongs, and that's gonna be your meal for the next day.
Sir, I don't
Yeah.
have to, because I already have.
Oh.
Hostess Raspberry Zingers.
Ooh.
And
A chubby song is jealous.
I'm more of a Swiss roll guy, personally.
They didn't
but
have any.
Okay, so we're
Aw.
trying this fight again.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
Food.
American food.
Specifically, oversaturated sugar funnel cake with filling on the inside. That the filling has a lot of sugar, and then they added raspberry flavoring on top of the top layer of frosting.
We're
Hmm.
talking about poor life decisions that happen to be delicious, is what we're talking about.
We are talking
For
about
under
food.
$3.25.
We are talking about what can legally be called food.
You're
Legally,
talking-
yes.
You're talking about the stuff that LICTHOR, as a diabetic,
Okay.
hears and feels his sugar rising.
Yeah,
Okay.
indeed.
Gordon.
Our
Gordon.
Wait, sorry. Reading here. Our contact
No,
with the brigade is.
Gordon needs to read this.
Oh, okay.
Gordon.
Gordon.
Gordon, I summon you to read a speech.
Gordon.
All right, fine. He's lost his talking privileges.
Okay.
Mr. Freeman.
Okay. So, our contact with the brigade is lost, and I fear we may be lost as well. We'll give this one to Breakdown.
How could you say such a thing? The battle's not yet fought.
And this one to Whacker.
We mustn't give in to despair, not until the nobles answer for all they've wrought.
It
All
ought,
you get, we're over here.
it ought not to have been like this. My brother was too soft, too indecisive.
Don't talk about my love, Delita, like that.
The enemy!
Please tell me we get to beat the snot out of these peasants.
We're about to.
Oh, you finally show up.
Now you show up.
was
I owe a
thinking-
great debt of gratitude for rescuing the Marquis. I pray I'm able to repay it even a little by aiding you in this.
Please pronounce it
That's-
properly, Storm. It's Marquis.
Okay,
it's
fine. The
It's
Marquis
Marquis.
Elmader de Limberry.
We all know Delita is a Kentucky Fried gentleman who can't read.
Can't do
Now,
them.
don't mind me as I go up an echoey elevator. Of course, we summoned Gordon to do a vocal line, and instead he comes in and does the battle music.
No, he comes in
I
and
would-
does the elevator music.
We need a piece of software or something that is like a decibel meter that we can plug in whenever Gordon streams.
I have
Oh,
it on
yeah.
the OBS.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the OBS isn't really that accurate. Sensitive, yes. Accurate, no.
That said, Gordon isn't actually that loud. He's just
Yes, he is.
he has powerful formants in the higher pitch regions.
No, he's loud.
Not always.
Meter soft.
Deploys air horn noises in the middle of a hotel walkway.
Yeah, we're not going through this
Talking
one again.
about myself.
Killed the mage before she could get her spell off. That is called
Good.
good service.
That is called Shadowrun logic. Always geek the mage.
Yes.
If the mage doesn't have a jaw, can she cast a spell?
Yes.
Depends. Are they verbal or somatic?
That still has to probably be one of my favorite what do you
Arguments?
call it? Scenes in a D&D based book, in the Drizzt Do'Urden books. I forget which one it is. It's like the very first one chronologically, though it wasn't the first one written. Zaknathane, who's Drizzt's father, is sent in to kill a bunch of clerics, and as he goes in, he just lashes out with a whip at one point and cuts the one cleric's tongue out of their mouth before they can cast the spell. And it's like, that is terrifying.
Yep.
I did not read any of the Drizzt books, but what I did. Okay. Should we talk about cursed books now?
By all means.
Okay.
How do you
I-
kill the book?
I forced myself. Forced. Like literally forced. And it was painful, but I did it. The two trilogies that Frank Herbert's son wrote. The
Oh,
Dune.
God.
Oh, I tried.
I
really
don't
tried.
know this name.
Yeah, the house books and then the other ones. I read
Yeah, House
Atreides.
Atreides, Carino, and
House Harkonnen.
And the Butlerian Jihad.
Yep.
And then the Butlerian Jihad series. Oh my god, that was painful to read. But I did it.
Like, I liked them, but I also read them when I was 14.
So you liked them when you were edgy.
I liked them when I was young. I never had an
Okay.
edgy phase.
Okay.
No, wait, I had an edgy phase very early in college.
So, aside from a lot of the flagrant stupidity, there was a lot of legit good story in there. Okay, there was a lot of legit good, awesome content, but there was also a lot of god awful, horrible content as well. And the writing was just atrocious. So the bad content combined with the horrendous writing just made it an exercise in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is it as painful as my rendition of Delita, the Kentucky gentleman with the name Delta?
no, I would say it's far more painful because Dune is like probably my favorite sci-fi book ever, if not my favorite book ever. And watching what Frank Herbert, I think his name's Michael,
Brian Herbert.
Brian Herbert, that's it, did to his dad's work.
Praise Zord!
Yes, praise Zord. Thank you, Gordon, for lighting those people on fire.
Dang.
But
They
yeah,
could be more on fire.
That is true.
They could be a middle management god.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that scene. I love that speech I gave that day, and the fact that Zorg at some point just came out, pointed at a dude, and just consumed him in fire.
Yes.
I'm gonna punch somebody. Oh, I whacked him with my rod. Did you see that?
Zorg
It's still
does not
canon
care
in
from
my-
hence the fire flows. Only that it does.
Yeah.
Or does
It's
he-
Here we are.
still
Okay,
part-
sorry, some dialogue here. How can you nobles live as you do and yet hold your heads so high? We are not chattel,
It's
we are
easy, ma'am.
humans, no less than you. What flaw do you hold
We
there
are
to
not
be in us?
cattle.
That we were
No,
born
chattel.
between a different set of walls? Do you know what it means to hunger, to set for months on naught but broth of bean? Why must we be made to starve that you might grow fat? You call us thieves, but it is you who steal from us the right to live. You, no less human than we. Now there's a beastly thought. You've been less than we from the moment your base-born father fell upon your mother in whatever gutter saw you sired.
Dang.
You've been chattel since you came into the world drenched in common blood. By whose decree? Who decides such foul and absurd things? 'Tis heaven's will. Heaven's will? You would pin your bigotry on the gods. No god would fain forgive such sin, much less embrace it. All men are equal in the eyes of the gods. Men, yes, but the gods have no eyes for chattel. You speak of devils, not gods. Okay, sorry, continue. Oh, wait. We have to delete a line for breakdown.
All I have to say about that
Zilla, is that truly our woman, our enemy?
Okay, sorry, what were you saying, Lichter?
I'm going to say these guys are bad guys and they should be shot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Argath is a terrible human being.
Debatable on the human being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just, pointing out they should be shot.
Yeah. And this is where our characters start to have the realization of they might not be fighting for the right side. This is that kind of story.
Morality.
I just want to beat the shit out of the peasants.
I want to beat the shit out of you.
Yes. Well, we're going to be forced to beat the shit out of the peasants because they're not going to give up.
Oh, that's a shame.
And it was this day we learned that Gordon was a royalist.
Correct.
Geek the Royalist.
And that's how you get prion disease.
It's November, but the guys that ambush you are like, quick, beat his meat! Oh no!
To be fair, though, there have been some extremely cool nobles, like especially during some of the famines.
Well, yeah.
Hey,
there's
we're
always
starving.
there's always going to
Alright,
be good and
if
bad
y'all build
examples.
a wall that's 3 feet tall around all of my property, I'll employ the entire village for the entirety of the famine, and I'll feed you. Come when the peasants revolt, they leave her house alone. In fact, they spread the word to leave her house alone because they paid them during a famine to feed themselves. In exchange, they built a 3-foot wall,
Yeah.
and it was known as the famine wall. It's a nutshell, but it is factually accurate.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love history. It's full of people, and people are weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and like I was saying, like there are good and bad examples in every class. Like there were good nobles, there were bad nobles, there were good peasants and bad peasants, and for the most part, many of them were just neutral in at least the D&D alignment chart.
It is amazing.
By breakdown story, this is a good noble because they literally fed the starving village.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, the D&D alignment system is horseshit.
Oh yeah,
I like it a lot, and I'm using it a lot. I will gladly debate the merits of using a system of alignment if you want to use, but only if you actually have a desire to use it as a driving force in your game or story.
by all means.
See,
If you just use it as a way to punish players, kindly Alt F4.
what? Punish players?
What?
I'm sorry, it does not compute. What?
There are
There some GMs that use it as a way to beat players over the head for you're not, quote, acting in character, you're going against your god. So immediately, all your powers, if you're playing a paladin, get stripped away, even though you're playing nice with the rest of your party, which weren't aligned that way in order to avoid inter-party conflict. Which last time you didn't do that, the GM yelled at you for. I'm speaking from experience, and if those kind of people, there's no winning.
well, that's not the system though. That's a shit GM.
That's a shit GM.
Well,
And also a
it's-
GM who has a
yeah,
problem with
yeah,
you
yeah.
personally, speaking from personal experience in a similar scenario.
And this is all a personal taste thing. Some people play well with GMs that are rules lawyers. Some people don't like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going.
That's it. It's a
Rules
personal-
lawyers are one thing, but sticking to your own rules is another. And that's what it sounds like Gordon's problem was, that he didn't want to stick to his own rules.
I am going to say that yes, players picking a character and then not playing it in a manner that is, not taking the GM's own opinions into the game, much as they should take the opinions of every other player on the table. Okay, in a social game. But I'm going to say that beating your player over the head with disagreements of conception is very poor form for a GM. A GM should work with the players, at, but alignment has, in my own humble opinion, very little with that subject. Alignment is a driving force in the universe, i.e., read the Elric books and the Soulbringer and all of this bullshit in order to understand how alignment is a driving force in the story. It has absolutely nothing to do with what the GM wants from the players.
So, I got lost for a second there, Lichter. It sounded like you were talking about. I was thinking that you were talking about alignment, as in aligning players' play style with the GM play style. I get what you're saying now, but I also think though that is also important. You don't want a mismatch between, people, like if you got a bunch of players that will play very loose and casual with rules, but you've got a rule lawyer GM, that's probably not going to work out really well, right?
Well,
If your players are casting one way or another, make sure you go under your car and turn the casting nut. If they're tilting one way or
Wrong
another, you gotta
alignment!
turn the tie rod in to bring your characters back in line.
I knew that joke was coming.
For those who don't know the background, I quite literally just gave you an example of how to align your tires in relation to how to align the players.
let's see.
And something I will point out is that, in theory, from what Lecter was saying, like when it comes to a story angle, yes, alignment has a place, but it's a question of not beating your players over the head with it, which is where I have a problem. Because in my
Yeah.
My
experience,
personal
If your GM, no, break down. You first.
mouthful, skip.
Okay.
Mouthful of Twinkie. Skip me.
Well,
It's a
what
real-
I'm going
let's skip.
to say is that if you are a GM and you want an element of drama in your story, drama involves tension and resolution, the basic parts of drama. If you want drama to exist in the game, you would do well to either know your players very well and already have some experience and understanding on how to create this drama, or at the risk of foreshadowing and foretelling what sort of a twist you're preparing them, you might also just tell them, look, I'm going to use this and that dramatic tensions in my game. Okay? And if he says, listen, the idea of universal law and universal evil and universal chaos and universal order, like goodness and evil and law and chaos, well, that's a tension maker and it has use in world. You can use that. But if you don't tell your players that you're going to use that, or if you're assuming, you might come up into a situation where you're expecting them to behave in a certain way because we agreed on certain.
Okay.
We're gonna
Pause.
pause for just a second so we can get through a dialogue scene.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Lay down your sword. Resist us not, and your life will yet be spared. Oh, right, no, it's going to give us the battle rewards before it does the dialogue.
So
Sorry.
that was actually a good cutaway to introduce drama, to read that line. To be like, hey, I have an example real quick. Read dialogue.
Oh, well, yeah, but now we're going to have the scene in question.
A dramatic reading.
I am no more chattel to you, or than chattel to you, am I? So have my head and be done with it. Do you truly hold us to be so foul?
Do it, Stormza. She fights as a corpse, let her become one for true. She's a foe and a traitor, an enemy of House Beowulf. The world has no place for such wretches. Her claimed life is forfeit. Spare her now, and you place a seal on the warrants for our own deaths. It's her or us, Stormza. Strike her down.
You see, no one's gonna say shit if you die, but I might try to dissuade Stormza from doing just that. She's not our enemy.
Yeah. Have you lost your wits?
I'm from Kentucky. What do you think?
Well,
You've lost your grits.
yeah. Delete a line.
This woman is no more chattel than you or I.
You would turn against her cause, Delita. I'd have expected as much. You deny me even the mercy of an honorable death. A pox on you and your pity. So long as you bear the name Beowulf, you will ever remain an enemy to me. You do well to remember that.
Yes, darling, but we're letting you live.
Well, and that's going to become the theme of this game, is extremism begets extremism. Delita, what?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
You forget I've played quite a bit of that.
Oh, yeah.
But that was
yeah.
just me playing up Delita
Oh,
as the
yeah.
Kentucky gentleman.
Delita, what have we done?
We spared a woman to fight another day.
Shakes head in Kentucky.
Yeehaw!
A pox on your pity indeed. So yeah, we now know Argath to be a genuinely asshole person. Egros,
And
seed.
Delita, in my reading, is just that literal Kentucky Fried Gentleman.
Yep.
Molasses.
The House of House Beowulf. No, I won't go. Release me.
Darling, your husband awaits.
Be quick about it.
It's the turbo chickens.
You're hurting me. Let
You-
go. Saddlebag.
You will respect the Kokobo.
Time to cut.
So that's how you pronounce his name.
Alma, are you unhurt? Yes, I'm fine, but Tietra. Yes, I know.
Tietra, that name sounds familiar.
That's
Who's
Delita.
she related to in this game?
That's Delita's little sister. They just kidnapped her.
Oh,
Lord brother.
oh hell yeah.
We're not. I'm fine. Alma, are you all right? They did not harm me, but you're bleeding badly. It's in no fever dream would I have thought the brigade so bold to strike us here. They must have come for me. 5 among our guard are slain and Tietra is taken. Find them. Search every den and Dovecote, if you must. Please, brother,
Dovecot.
Wait,
you mustn't
quick,
speak.
somebody fire the flare. We must summon the Delita to save his own sister.
Bloody rebels.
Bloody rebels.
Daisadog. Someone, anyone!
It's pronounced Dovecot.
Yeah. What does that word mean? I don't know that one.
It's basically a large birdhouse that was constructed in the Middle Ages.
Oh, like kind of an aviary sort of affair.
Pretty much.
Shoot!
Oh, right. So, because you would use doves for delivering. Or no, was that no? That was pigeons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Passenger pigeons.
So
Now
who else
extinct.
beside me would do like 13-minute side quests to like gain levels before progressing the story?
Oh, I adore excessive grinding and overpowered face rolling shit just for the lulz.
Yeah,
I
here we are.
love doing that.
Like straight up that Black Knight fight, I was so
Okay.
underpowered
Hang
even
on, hang
after
on,
excessive
pause.
grinding.
Pause. Dialogue.
Okay. Whacker, you'll be Lord Daisadog.
Okay, I'm gonna do him as an old fart.
Even though he's 28.
I don't care. So you handled your duties most good. Leave the janitor in our brother's hands and take a well-earned dump. You've earned. You done good, Sonny. No, don't worry. They only stabbed me in my spleen and my liver, and maybe I'm bleeding, but it's okay. And did I ever tell you about that time that I was at the fair and they
Lord Brother, what
Oh
of,
no,
what
they
of,
got Lord Grandpa in the Alzheimer's.
what of Tietra?
Zoidberg will lead a full frontal assault on the Legion as soon as their base is somebody go find it.
But
The enemy is they ran, and there's only about maybe 4 of them left. Yeah, they're we can't find the leader guy, but you need to hurry the hell it up. So whatever the follies thing.
and for Tietra as well, you would leave her to her fate? I've taken measure. Oh, sorry.
You're so tired of it already.
Yep.
I made sure she'll be fine, and yes, the attacks waits upon her safe return, whenever the hell that will be. She's like a sister. Is she my sister? I don't remember.
You daft fool! She's my sister! Stabs you with a pillow.
Think matters through, Delita. Where would you even go? You must calm yourself.
Don't try and stop me. Calm yourself. This is my own sister! By those cutthroats! Damn you, Zoidberg!
I would have you obey reason. We know not where to begin. To search now would be fruitless.
Every house, every tombstone, every rock.
Fruitless, you
I
speak.
will find my sister!
No. Comb the desert. You hear me? Comb the desert.
You speak of my sister's life. You heard my lord brother. He said he would not abandon her, but there's little we can. Delita, I cannot breathe.
Good!
Forgive me, Stormza. Are you all right? I'll be fine. I'd not believe a word of that fairy tale if I were you. You call my brother a liar. I do. I would not go out of my way to rescue some common maid.
I must kill you, but
I
I
said-
can't.
I said he would be a fool to hold back an army for fear of spilling a few drops of your common blood. As I thought. Stop this, Delita. Release me, damn you,
That
Stormza, release
felt
me.
so good, Stormza.
As I said, common blood, common man. You'll never be more than you were born, Delita. You don't belong in our world. You ought to be licking our boots with the rest of your ill churl. That does it. Enough, Delita. And you as well, Argath. Open your eyes, Stormza. Delita is not one of us. Isn't it? It isn't proper that you should mix with such as he. Surely you see that. Delita is my friend and a dear to me. And a dear one. We've been as brothers all our lives. Then that blinds you from the truth. You're a man grown. It's time you left the playthings of your boyhood behind. You're a son of House Beowulf, a birth high even among highborn. Such company ill suits you. Your brothers see this, I'm sure, even if you choose not to. Not everyone of high birth is as ill-bred as you. I'll trust to Stormza's judgment.
Break down if you wanted to like stab him a bit, I'd be okay with that.
Be gone from my sight, and do not think to return. Your words cut deep,
Do not-
Stormza. Are we not friends?
Do not talk to me or my son ever again.
Remove yourself, I'll not ask again. The brigade makes its
Get
base at
out
Zeichten.
of
Your loyal
my
brother told me
house.
himself. You've no hope of breaching the fortress from the fore. The defenses are too strong. A rear assault is your only chance. Best of luck, my soft-hearted friend. You'll need it. Be gone.
You're no longer welcome in House Beowulf.
That's... I mean, yeah. Okay. Let's see about equipping.
Stormza, I found a path to the Zoidbergs. That is their new name from here on out. Whatever faction we're currently fighting, they are now the Zoidbergs.
So even if it's the Corpse Brigade...
Whoever has Delita's
Roa
sister,
says, give him the brick.
Yes.
to whoever currently holds Delita's sister, they are now the Zoidbergs.
The Zoidbergs would be a terrible family to see in, like, a D&D game.
Who says it's a family?
Crab people.
I'm referring to a
Crab
faction.
people.
Indeed.
Tastes like crab, looks like people. Crab people.
Is Zoidberg a
Crab
crab or a
people.
lobster? This we must know.
Pardon? I'm going to reach through the internet and stab you in your face.
Welcome to
And he'll do it with a crab too.
No. I do
Crabs
not.
are reserved for the ladies. Wait,
He's a
that
lobster.
sounded way worse than I meant it to.
That was horrible. That was horrible.
That was horrible, and it shall remain for all time.
But it was also funny, slightly.
Yes.
The only good use for a crab is the mulch. Please rename the Black Wizard to Gordo the Loud.
No, the black mage is Hellos. That's Misfit's character.
Oh, never mind.
Mix with words like flame.
Okay, well, we need a new... Actually, no. Let's make Gordon a summoner. Because that's
What we
also
really
loud,
need
and it
is a gun.
summons lots of cursed things.
Thinking.
And they're also probably not very good pilots.
How many items do you have?
I've been
Healing
selling off
item.
anything I don't
Healing,
need.
healing items.
I'm well stocked on healing items.
Do you have at least 10 of each?
Yes. I have
A minimum of 10 of each.
indeed. Oh right. She wasn't in the last battle, so the only people who've leveled up are.
Well, eventually, when he captures the bomb critter, he's gonna cause whoever makes Phoenix Downs to basically have a .com era thing.
Lol.
Traveler
I mean-
is best sci-fi. Changing my mind.
Wololo.
Disney is worst sci-fi. Changed my mind.
Wololo
This one I will-
intensifies.
This one I will not argue.
I am going to say this now. PhoenixDown.com already exists.
This
Are you really surprised?
No. I'm a little disappointed that it's a betting company.
Podcast.
I am extremely disappointed that Phoenix Down, as we know it in this game, spelled the same way, is a mattress furniture.
Beef.com is a website.
All right, so we are going to save up for the evening. My brain is starting to break, so I'm gonna take a break. And I wish
Before I break the brain, I'm going to post a photo.
Oh no. But I want to thank everyone for coming. We'll have Drexicon soon after this, playing him some Stompy Boy Mech Warriors. And,
Vulcan lives.
yeah, with that all in mind,
Stomp.
yes.
Did you save?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Are you
But I'm
sure?
doing it again.
thank you.
Never trust an autosave.
Indeed. But with that, thank you, and hopefully we will have Double Dash doing his game tomorrow with all the wonders that entails, and hopefully the power doesn't go out in his neighborhood again. So stick around for that, and then Rail tomorrow.
It's the 9th of March.
Yeah, and then Rail tomorrow with Mario Odyssey. Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen, and in the words of our friend ODST Bag, yeet!